Now you understand foreground, middle ground, background. You also know how to draw a few various things like a tree and a barn, a pathway, a pond. Now it's time to start planning for our drawing. We're going to make a landscape. One thing I like to do is cut out the shapes of the objects I want to put in my landscape, like a tree or a house, and then put those over top of my foreground, middle ground, background to see how they look. Yeah, the house looks a little too big. It blocks too much of the background. I like the little barn better. Another thing you could do is thumbnail sketches, like you see here. I draw in my foreground with the tree and a big house also in the foreground, and a line for the middle ground and another line for the background. I'm going to try another thumbnail sketch. Thumbnail sketches are just smaller little versions of your bigger drawing. So I have my foreground with a big tree, and I have the line for the middle ground and another line for the background. And I wanted to push that house back a little further to make it more of a deeper space with a pathway. I like that one better. Not so much that one. So now that I know what I want my drawing to look like, and I have my sketches completed, I know exactly what I want to do, I'm ready to start my final copy. So I sketch it out in pencil. Don't be afraid to erase. And you can see the process in the rest of this video. Enjoy watching and have fun drawing. Here you can see three dark lines which divide the picture up into three different spaces. I have my foreground down below, and above that line I have the other space, which is the middle ground, and above that would be the background. Notice how the tree, however, which is actually in the foreground, is so big that it goes off the top of the page. It overlaps the middle ground and it also overlaps the background. And the leaves will actually go up into the sky. The upper part of the tree is cropped, so that means that it goes off the edge of the paper. That helps give the illusion that the tree is very close to us and it's pretty big. Notice how the path starts in the foreground and it shows up in the lower left-hand corner. And that pathway goes down over that hill and kind of disappears. But it reappears again in the middle ground and curves a little bit and then eventually leads us up to the barn. I put in a little grove of pine trees behind the barn. And there's the path leading us back up to the hill where the big tree is, and a few fence posts. I I wanted to have a little fun with my picture, so I decided to put in a birdhouse that's hanging from the branch. So the birdhouse looks like the house down below, it's all the same size, but it's actually in the foreground because it's only a birdhouse. A real house is much bigger. So the real house, which my hand is covering up, there you can see it, is a real house, but it's further away. And here's another house way, way off in the background, pretty far away, with a path coming down that hill and disappearing, and eventually will come over the other side of the hill. Or maybe it just ends there, who knows. I'm using a smaller tip marker with the trees, so you see a fainter line because it is further away. As things get further away, they get smaller, perhaps even the width of a line. You can do this with your pencil. I'm just coloring over with marker so you can see better in the video, but you can really do this all with a pencil. In our next video and final video, I'll be using a set of landscape colored pencils to color this in. Stay tuned.